Hello, everybody. Dr. Eller back again for the third quadrant of the Cal State Apply application, the supporting information section for the spring 2024 MIST admission cycle. And this section actually should be as simple as really going into this one subsection, the experiences section, and hitting the I'm not adding any experience section. And you might ask why I would recommend that. And it really comes down to one of the four required documents for our program in terms of us reviewing you as an applicant is an up-to-date resume and also a statement of purpose. And so generally speaking, those two documents are going to give us enough of an understanding of you as the applicant that you don't have to go in and manually fill this in like it's a job application. Now, if you're someone who has a lot of experience that doesn't fall on your resume and you think it will benefit your application, then by all means do include it. We will review it. I'm not saying that we won't review it. I'm just saying that if really your resume or your CV includes all of that information already, then please save yourself the work from having to do it. Now, I'll fill out one experience just to show what it's like, and I'll talk about some of the drop-down options just in case you are somebody who's going to fill out this section. So first, you'll have a variety of options here, whether this is employment, an internship, or a volunteer opportunity. It really doesn't matter what it is. In any case, what we're going to care about is the description that you provide. Now, I'm going to fill out an employment one just for the sake of doing so, but effectively, given that I work at CSUMB, I'm just going to fill it out as if I'm working there still because I am. But you can go through and you can include the information in terms of the address. I'm not going to contact any organizations. I will say that our university is not going to contact any. So don't feel that you have to provide the address or supervisor information. You can provide that. It's honestly information that I'm not going to use unless you're notating potentially one of these as your recommenders and we're having an issue getting a recommendation from them. Other than that, there would be no reason for me to contact any of these folks. So don't feel like you have to fill that out. What it would be relevant is the experience dates. Now, I'm just going to fill in fake dates just so that we can get through this quicker, but you would want to include the start date if it's something that you're currently doing, end date if that's applicable, and what type of work that is, whether it's full-time, part-time, or temporary. This is obviously most naturally relevant to an employment-based experience that you're sharing. From there, you would share your job title, what it was, whether it was compensated, something that you did for a class and received academic credit for, or interestingly enough, a volunteer section as well. So you can see some of these have a little bit of a bleed over effect. Don't worry if you miscategorize an experience. We're really, as I said before, going to be focused on this description that you provided. So I'm just going to make up a fake one here just for the sake of completing this, but you would want to be as thorough as you feel comfortable, and you're given 600 characters here to work with. So that does give you a fair amount of space to describe each of your individual experiences that you share here. Now, if you do want us to contact somebody, you can notate that here. If you don't, you can notate no. Once again, this is going to have no bearing on your application because the likelihood that I would contact anybody on any particular experience that you provide is so slim that it really doesn't matter, to be quite frank. So from there, you'd hit save and continue, and then you could go back and add additional experience as you see fit. Okay, but once again, for most of you, I would assume your resume and or CV and statement of purpose, when looked at together, is going to provide more than enough information for me to get a good understanding of you as an applicant. So unless you have substantive amounts of information that you don't have on your application that you think would benefit your application, such as showing off different education technology skills or different training skills, supervisory skills, so on and so forth, then you may want to include that in your experiences. Otherwise, in most circumstances, you're more than welcome to skip this section so that you can move on to the final quadrant of the application, which is the program materials section, which we will go over in the final video of this series. So I hope that was helpful. Take care, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video of this series.